What is up, Dodgers Nation, and welcome to another episode of Dodgers Dugout Live, the #1 Dodgers podcast and Dodgers show on YouTube. My name is Doug McCann. I cover the Dodgers for DodgersNation.com, credentialed member of the media. You can follow me on X and Instagram at DMac_LA. If you are new to the channel, lots of new viewers, lots of new listeners, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. And if you watch the show every single day, if you want to support the show, hit the like button and drop a comment down below. Today's poll question of the show, I asked you guys over on the X, if the postseason began tomorrow, who would be your game one starter for the Dodgers? And right now, 66% say Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 17% say Shohei Ohtani, 11% say Blake Snell, and 6% say Tyler Glasnow. So we're going to talk about that in a little bit. We got Bobby Miller. It was really exciting to catch up with him. We'll also talk about a big roster move that has surprised many that the Dodgers clearly haven't officially made official, but they did make. We'll talk about that here because there's so much to get into. Drop the comments down below. We got producer Robert rocking with us today. Noel out, but we got my man Robert. If you guys saw our awesome Superman trailer, if you haven't yet, definitely recommend that. Just awesome stuff. Should get at least a couple Academy Awards. He's the guy behind that. So very talented guy working with us today. Drop your comments down below. This is a live show. Later, we're going to answer all of your questions during the 7th inning stretch. Any hot takes, any crazy questions and opinions about your boys in blue, drop those during the show and we'll feature them later on. And we're also going to give out a comment of the show today, so be on the lookout for that. But we've got so much Dodger baseball to get into, so let's get right into it with the leadoff. All right, so the hottest story in Dodger baseball is still this surprise roster move that the Dodgers have made over the last couple of days. The Dodgers are likely to select Justin Dean, and it's a foregone conclusion at this point, but just has not been made official. Justin Dean, a Dodgers outfielder that has played some really versatile baseball for Oklahoma City. We did an interview yesterday with Casey Porter, and we broke down his game. And the move that we thought they would make was that they would option Esteury Ruiz to AAA Oklahoma City. And based on MLB.com's transition tracker, that's exactly the move they made. And that will open up the active roster spot required to get him up. But they still need to make a move on the 40-man to select his contract. Now, we'll see what they do. You got some DFA candidates. You've got some moves that you can make. We talked about it yesterday where they're in a position where you got a couple of guys that really are obvious ones, but the other guys that you just don't know what the plan is for them. For example, the Dodgers did claim Lucan Baker. He was an infielder from the St. Louis Cardinals, and that's when they DFA'd Jack Little. Jack Little ultimately ended up in the Pirates organization. Well, so we'll see exactly what they do. We told you why we thought they did this yesterday, because Dean is a guy at Oklahoma City, hitting 274, 370 on base, 426 slug, 6 home runs, also 25 stolen bases in 32 attempts. So he does bring a base running element, but we all know that Ruiz clearly does that at a higher level because he's faster, stole 67 bases a couple years ago, so can't be that. He does walk at a pretty decent clip, a 12% walk rate, a 23% strikeout rate. He's not chasing and expanding the zone as much as he has in years past. So more of a bat-to-ball type of guy. And for Ruiz, he's mainly been a dynamic running type of player that they can use off the bench, has not gotten a ton of time. So this could be just for more consistent offense. It's definitely a little bit of a head scratcher. And it comes out of left field, and that's what we were told yesterday. But I think the thing with Ruiz, not great in the outfield defensively, did not last very long. The thing with Dean, at least the guy can play defense, and at least he can field. And they think that's kind of where the floor is for him, and that's why they're going that route. So Justin Dean, we'll see if he makes his debut today in some capacity or how much time he'll get. So that's going to be the interesting topic heading into this one. But I want to switch gears because we've got an exclusive interview earlier today, just an hour ago, caught up with Bobby Miller. And we talked about this bullpen and the fact that it hasn't been the strength that they had hoped it would be. After making big signings, acquiring Tanner Scott, 4 years, $72 million, Kirby Yates, $13 million, bringing back Blake Trinan. You still had Anthony Bonda and Alex Vesia and a lot of really talented relievers, and those guys have had success this season to varying degrees, but it hasn't been the strength. And Brock Stewart has not looked good early on with the Dodgers. And I think that if you're the Dodgers and you're hoping that Brock Stewart was going to be able to fill that void left by Evan Phillips after suffering an injury that led to Tommy John surgery that left him out for the season, that remains to be seen, because early returns on Brock Stewart, even though it's a very small sample size, just 3 games, 2 2/3 innings, he's put up a 6.75 ERA after putting up a 2.38 ERA with the Twins in 34 innings. You've seen the strikeouts go down, the walks, not a massive problem, just 1 walk, but this stuff just has not played that well. And we know the reason why they went after Brock Stewart, and that was because the stuff, the way it was playing this season, was very effective, particularly against right-handed hitters. Righties this year, off Brock Stewart, they're hitting 133 with a 390 OPS. But the important detail that people are failing to mention about Brock Stewart is that against lefties, he struggled. Southpaws this season are hitting 349 off him with a 962 OPS. And in his last appearance against the Cardinals, he had Brendan Donovan and Lars Nootbaar and guys batting on that side of the plate. 3 of the 4 hitters that Brock Stewart faced were left-handed batters. So I think you got to put him in a better position to optimize him and find a way to make an adjustment for him so he can be effective against lefties. We saw a couple years ago when Ryan Brazier was brought in, one of the big eureka moments for him was finding that cutter and that allowing him to have success and miss barrels against lefties. So we'll see if they modify his attack plan or his pitch mix in any capacity. But yeah, I mean, so far, it looks like this season, if you're ranking the strengths and the weaknesses moving forward, the biggest strength could be the starting rotation. So we'll see what happens with that. And if guys stay healthy, Yamamoto, Ohtani, Glasnow, Shohei has looked great, Blake Snell is back, that could be their ticket to another World Series, is the strength of their starting rotation. And to answer the poll question, who should be the Dodgers Game 1 starter, I think when you look at all these guys, they're all talented. They're all capable of getting the ball in Game 1. But I think right now, based on how he looks, how could you go with anyone other than Shohei Ohtani? Shohei Ohtani would be my Game 1 starter for the Dodgers in the postseason. And the reason is you have a day off after that first game. So Shohei could get his start out of the way, and then for the rest of the series, focus on what he does at the plate. Hitting home runs, extra base hits, getting on base, helping them generate offense. Because at that point, Max Muncy's in the lineup every day. Mookie Betts hopefully has gotten out of his slump. Freddie Freeman's continued to hit like he has. Teoscar Hernandez is continuing to get out of his slump and hit with more consistency and give you those clutch base hits and raking against lefties. That if you get a dominant start from Shohei Ohtani in Game 1, where he goes 5 innings, and then you got a fresh bullpen behind him, and then you can get maybe some short burst type of roles, Emmett Sheehan, guys like that, and play the bullpen game and get a Game 1 win, I think that sets up that series for the Dodgers. And you also look at the fact, too, Shohei Ohtani's made 8 starts. He has pitched just 19 innings. So whenever he does pitch in the postseason, that's going to be his first time doing that. And there's going to be a lot of adrenaline. There's going to be a lot of hype surrounding it. I'd rather him focus on getting that start out of the way, and then the rest of the series just trying to absolutely rake and be productive at the plate. Because if he's your Game 2, 3 starter, you're kind of seeing how that series plays out, and then maybe he's thinking about it a little bit, and then when he gets there and it's his start, you don't even know what the series is. Is it a 2-0 lead, a 3? Is it a 2-1 game? And you don't really know what the state of the series is going to be when he gets the ball if he pitches for you later in that series. And another reason why, if he goes for you early in that series. I also think he's an option to finish that series for you. The last 2 World Series titles have been closed out by starters. We saw Walker Buehler do it last year. And I think the earlier he starts in a series, the more of an option he becomes as a guy that goes Shohei Ohtani WBC mode and closes out a game for you. So that's where I'm at on Shohei Ohtani. He's the most dominant pitcher right now for the Dodgers. The stuff, 101 miles per hour, the sweeper, using the sinker, throwing less splitter, but he's got that off speed working for him. Yesterday, the sweeper late in his start and the slider, that was working for him. And the effectiveness of that 4-seam fastball, dotting the corners, and the ability to speed up hitters just to slow them down. I did a full breakdown of Shohei Ohtani's start where you go pitch by pitch. I broke it all down. You can go check it on YouTube. So let me know down below in the comments section, where are you at with that?